Welcome to another Java tutorial. Today we are going to be going over multi-dimensional arrays, or as I like to call them, 2D arrays. Now what is a 2D array? A 2D array is basically two arrays that is acting as one array. If that makes sense. If it doesn't, it's okay. Look, I'll get into it and I'll explain it. It's a very simple one, but it's very useful. So firstly we have to create our 2D array. So we'll start off as creating a normal array, except we'll have two of these instead of one. And then we'll give a name. So I'll just go with array, and then we will equal that, and we will open and close it, semicolon. And now in here, so this is how you create it, but now let's say we want to pass in a couple of values in here. So we'll open and close it again inside here. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll put in a few values. Now let's do that again. Comma, open and close. Let's do 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is what a 2D array is. I'll space it out so it's a bit easier to see. So here we have the main array, and then inside of the main array we have two more arrays. So we have a big array that contains two arrays, and in each of those arrays we have a couple of values. So let's say we want to access a couple of numbers. What way are we going to do that? Let's say int x. Let's say we want to access 5. Let's say I want to get this piece of information. So the way we'll do it is normal. We'll do array. We'll have two of these. But now in here we need to pass in some numbers. So this first box will represent the big array. So imagine that this big array, this first array is index 0, or it's the first index, and then this is the second index. So let's say we want to access the second index, which is this array. So it's the second array that we want to access. So we'll put in 1, because this is 0, the first array, and then this is 1, the second array. So we have now just accessed this array by putting in 1. If we want to access this one, obviously we can put in 0. So now we have access to this one. But let's go with 1 for now. So we are looking at this array now. Now let's say we want to, I think I said 5. So now we are looking at the indexes in just this array. So don't mind anything else, now it's just this array. So we want to access 5, so this is the very first index, so it's 0. 0. Now if we print this, you'll see we get 5. So I'll go through this again. It might be a bit confusing. This first value is to access what array we want in our big array. So this is the big array, and then these are indexes of the arrays in our array. That makes sense? I hope it does. So this is index 0, this array, and this is index 1, this array. So I'm accessing this by putting in 1. So that's what this value is for. And this second value is inside of the array that we accessed. So we are accessing this, and then we are accessing the index of the array that we accessed. So 1, which is this one, and now inside of this one we are looking for 0, which is this one. That's it. Now we can have more of these. Even though it's a 2D array, we can have way more of these. We can have how many as you want, really. Let's go 9, 10, 11, 12. We can have as many of these as we want. We're not just limited to 2. So now let's say we want to access this one here. We want to access 11. Okay, So which array is this? It's not the first one, it's not the second one, it's the third one. We want to access 11, it's in the third array, so we put in 2. Because this one is 0, this one is 1, and this one is 2. So we put in 2. Now we want to access 11, so this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So we put in 2, and it will print out 11. So that's the way 2D arrays work. Now let's say we want to loop this, because in normal arrays we can use a for loop in order to loop through it. So let's go with that. Now, it's the exact same, exactly the same, except obviously it's a bit different. So let's make a for loop. So we have a for, so make an int I is equal to 0, I smaller than array dot length I plus plus, and this will just loop through our array. Now, the problem is this will only loop through these, so it will only loop through this big array. It's not going to loop through the individual arrays. So what's going to happen with this for loop is it will loop through array 1, but only, so it will mark off this as index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3. It will not go into this array. It will mark off this array, but it won't actually access any of the data inside this array. So in order to do that, we need another for loop. Let's make ourselves another for loop. Let's do int j. So this has to be different. This one has to be different to this one, or else there's going to be a conflict. Then we do j, exactly the same, array dot length, and then we do j plus plus. So what's going to happen now is this first loop is going to loop through the arrays inside here, and then this second loop is going to loop through what's inside of the array. So this will loop through the arrays, through 1, 2, 3, 4 arrays, and then this one will loop through the data that is inside of each of those arrays. So now we can adjust this a little bit. I will show you now, but we don't need to, but we can. So let's say we want to print out everything in here. So we go to system out, we do array, same thing as here, right? In order to print out each individual number, we'll do I as the first one, so this will loop through the arrays, I, and then we do j, and j will loop through what's inside of the array. So if we run this, see, it will just print out everything. Don't care about that. It will just loop through everything that is in the array. Now, I just say we get rid of this. Okay. So there is another way of doing this as well. Now, you can see there is a bit of a problem here. So it doesn't actually print out everything, it only prints out to 11. So a way to fix that would be in here, in here I'm only going to put in I, and you can see the problem is fixed. We do get we do get everything printed out. The reason for this is this here, it tells. So the reason why we did this is because when we didn't have this, we are telling j to loop through the amount of indexes that we have of the amount of arrays. We're not telling it to loop through the amount of numbers that we have in the array. So if we run this again, I can show you again. You can see that we are printing out 1, 2, 3, but we're not printing out 4. So 4 is not being printed. Then you can see we are printing out 5, 6, 7, but there's no 8. We're printing out 5, 6, 7, but we're not printing out 8. Same thing as 9, 10, 11. 9, 10, 11, we are not printing. We are printing, but we're not printing out 12. The reason for this is there are 3 indexes. 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 arrays inside this big array. What we're telling, so this is okay. This will loop through all of these arrays. So the first one, the second one, and then the third one. The problem with this one is this one loops through the indexes of each of the arrays. However, we are telling it to loop through 3 because there's three arrays starting here. So it's only going to loop through 1, 2, and 3. It's not going to loop through this one because there's 1, 2, and 3. This gets the size of this array, of this full array. So there's 3 indexes of that array. We need it to tell how many pieces of information there is in each of the smaller arrays in the big array. So the way we do this, we put an I. So what this means is it's going to check the length of this array. So array 0, so if I is 0, it'll be this array. So it will check how many numbers are in here, and that is the length. So then it will print out all of these numbers. Same thing with the other ones and the other ones. This allows us to have a different amount of smaller arrays in the big array and the data inside. So for example, I can have this last one. Let's say we can set this as 7. That's not a problem. Then we can set this last one as 8. So we can space these out. And with this here, that's going to be no problem. As you can see, it prints out all of them. If we didn't have this, it will only print out, because there's 3 indexes here, 1, 2, 3. It'll only print out 1. It will print out 1, 2, 3. It won't print out 4. It will print out 5, 6, 7 because there's only 3, and it will only print out 8, 9, and 10. So that's how. So that's why this one is very important. A lot of people do forget that, especially when I was learning, when I was first starting off with programming. I was making this mistake a lot. What I used to do was I wouldn't have the I in here, and I kept getting problems, and I kept doing it because when I got taught 2D arrays, the way I got taught was this was the example that was given to us, which is a bit, it's not good. So I really want to make sure that everyone doesn't make this mistake that I did, because I spent a long time then trying to figure it out. This was the example that I was given. Now, this will work without me having, so this, it will work with this. However, it will also work without it. So if we print this out, you can see all of the numbers get printed out. The reason for that is there is 4 there's 4 array indexes, so there's 4 arrays, but there's also 4 pieces of data inside of each array. So this will work no problem. However, if one of them is 17, this will not get printed because it will only print out the amount of arrays that there is, which is 4. So it will only print out these 4. So that's a mistake that. So this is the example that I've been given, but when I was younger and I was learning Java 2E arrays. Only after we got told about having this. So I want to make sure everyone understands that it is important to have this in there. If you don't, it will not. It might work in some cases, but majority of the cases it will not work, and you just get a lot of problems then. Now you can also have these as strings as well. So let's say we want to make a string to the array. Let's say I'm gonna just quickly go through this. Let's go with A, B. What am I doing? C, D, D, last one because I'm lazy. This will work. You don't need to change this. It doesn't matter what data type the array is. The for loops don't have to change, and even printing out does not have to change. So you can see it will print out all of them: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So this will be the same. This will be the same code. Doesn't matter if it's strings. You don't need to change these to strings, or you don't need to do anything. You can even change this to a char, and it'll work the exact same. So yeah, so that was 2D arrays, or multi-dimensional arrays, or two-dimensional arrays. I just call them 2D arrays. There's a few names for it. It's the easiest one to remember. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this one. I hope it was helpful. I hope it makes sense, because whenever I did it, it made sense to me. It's just that was the mistake that I had. It just because we didn't really get. It wasn't taught to us properly after I did my own research, and then later on I got taught that we need to put this in here. So hopefully nobody makes that mistake, and hopefully it was pretty simple. So yeah, peace out.